Just for a moment, before the day begins, before the noise rushes in, before you put on the face you show the world. Stop. Because there is something inside you. You know what it is. Something you have been carrying for a long time. A memory. A failure. A name you gave yourself in the dark. Unworthy. Broken. Too far gone. You have whispered it so often it has become the only truth you know. And this morning, that weight is still there, isn't it? Right there in your chest. Heavy, silent, familiar. David knew that weight. He was a king, a man after God's own heart. And yet he found himself on his knees, unable to lift his eyes, writing words that still make us tremble. Have mercy on me, O God. Not a demand, not a negotiation, a cry, raw, desperate. The cry of someone who has looked at himself honestly and been undone by what he saw. Can you hear him? Can you hear yourself in him? Because this reflection is not about David. It is about you. It is about the thing you did, the thing that was done to you, the version of yourself you are ashamed to bring before God. There was a woman, and the city knew her name like a wound. They said it with a sneer, with a pointed finger, with the kind of certainty that only comes when someone else's sin makes you feel safe. She had heard every word. She had internalized every verdict, and yet something pulled her. Something she could not name drew her through the door of a Pharisee's house, past the stairs, past the gasps, past the silence that fell like stone when she entered. And she fell at his feet. She did not speak. She had no argument to make, no case to present, no version of herself that was presentable enough for that room. She had only tears. And the tears came not because she was performing, but because she was finally, for the first time, in the presence of someone who saw everything, every shadow, every mistake, every moment she wished she could erase and did not turn away. He did not turn away from her, and that undid her completely. The alabaster jar broke, and so did she, not into pieces, into freedom. David wrote, "Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow." Do you understand what he is asking? He is not asking for a second chance. He is not asking to start over with the same broken tools. He is asking to be made new, from the inside, at the root. Create in me a clean heart, O God. Create, not repair, not patch. Create. That is the language of transformation, the language of something that did not exist before, being called into being by the breath of God. David had been to the bottom of himself. And at the bottom, he found not condemnation. He found an altar. And Mary Magdalene. Once mercy touched her, she was never the same again. Not reformed, not rehabilitated, transformed. She became the first witness of the resurrection, the one sent to tell the others. The woman, the city once defined by her sin, became the woman heaven chose to carry the greatest news in human history. Think about that. Let it land. The one written off became the one sent. God did not just erase her past. He rewrote her story. He took the very depth of her fall and made it the measure of her mission. And now it is your turn. Not someday. Not when you are better, cleaner, more deserving. Now, this morning, in this very moment, before this day begins, he is looking at you the way he looked at her, the way he heard David's cry in the dark. He sees the weight you came in carrying. He sees the label you have worn so long you think it is your name. And he is not shocked. He is not disappointed in a way that pushes you away. He is the Father who sees you while you are still far off and runs. Mercy is not a transaction. It is not a deal where you bring enough remorse and he hands you a clean slate. Mercy is an encounter, and encounters change you. When you truly meet mercy, when it is no longer a word you say, but a presence you feel, you do not walk away the same. You walk away lighter, not because the past disappeared, but because it has been redeemed, taken up into something larger than your failure. This morning, let mercy find you. Open your hands. Stop defending. Stop explaining. Stop hiding. Let the alabaster jar break. Let the tears come. Because what he is about to do inside you is not forgiveness alone. It is transformation. And it begins right now. God. When I think of mercy, I often think of it as forgiveness, a moment when guilt is lifted, when the record is cleared. But your mercy goes deeper than that. In Psalm 51, David did not only ask you to pardon him, he asked you to create a clean heart within him, to renew something inside that had been broken. And I see that same transforming mercy in Mary Magdalene, a life once known for darkness, later known for devotion, the woman who stood near the cross and was among the first to witness the resurrection. Your mercy did not simply erase her past, it reshaped her identity. I confess how often I hope only for forgiveness, relief from guilt, while still believing I will remain the same person inside. Teach me that your mercy is not just a covering, it is a transformation. I bring you the parts of me that still feel unchanged, still struggling, still fragile, and I ask you, not only to forgive me, but to remake me from the inside. Out, Lord. Sometimes I treat mercy like a reset button, as if forgiveness simply clears the past so I can start again, but remain essentially the same person. Yet when I look at the life of Mary Magdalene, I see something far deeper. Mercy didn't just release her from what once bound her, it reshaped her heart, her loyalty, her love for you. She did not walk away unchanged. She became devoted, courageous, present even at the cross when others fled. That kind of transformation humbles me, because it means mercy is not only about what you remove, it is about what you create. In Psalms 51, David asked for more than pardon. He asked for renewal, for a new spirit, a restored heart. I bring that same request to you. Don't let me settle for forgiveness without transformation. Change the patterns inside me, reshape my desires, renew my mind. Let your mercy go deeper than relief from guilt. Let it become the power that slowly, faithfully, remakes who I am. From the inside out. Father, I realize how often I expect transformation to happen instantly, as if one moment of repentance should immediately erase every weakness inside me. But the mercy you give is deeper and more patient than that. In Psalms 51, David cried out not only for cleansing, but for renewal, a process of rebuilding the heart that had been broken. Mercy begins with forgiveness, but it continues with restoration, slowly reshaping the inner life. I see this reflected in the journey of Mary Magdalene. Her story did not end the moment she was set free. It unfolded into devotion, loyalty, courage. Teach me to embrace that same process, not to rush the work you are doing in me. When old habits surface, remind me that transformation takes time. When discouragement whispers that nothing has changed, help me see the quiet growth taking place beneath the surface. I stay open to your mercy, not just as forgiveness for yesterday, but as the steady power that keeps reshaping my heart today and guiding me toward the person you are forming within me. God, sometimes I accept forgiveness, but still carry the identity of who I used to be. I remember my failures more vividly than your mercy, and I move through life cautiously, as if grace might run out. Yet when I look at Mary Magdalene, I see someone who did not remain defined by her past. She followed you, served you, stood near the cross when others fled, and became one of the first witnesses of the resurrection. That is what transforming mercy does. It doesn't only erase shame, it restores purpose. In Psalms 51, David asked you to restore the joy of salvation, not just the forgiveness of sin. I bring that same longing to you. Restore joy where guilt once lived. Restore courage where fear once ruled. Restore purpose where regret once whispered that I was finished. Teach me to live as someone who has been renewed, not merely excused. Let your mercy shape my identity so deeply that my life begins to reflect the freedom, devotion, and gratitude of someone truly transformed, not just forgiven. Lord, I begin to realize that mercy changes more than my standing with you. It changes the direction of my life. Before encountering you, Mary Magdalene was known for her brokenness. But after receiving your mercy, she became known for her devotion, following you faithfully, even when the road led to the cross. That transformation humbles me, because it shows that mercy does not leave a person where it found them. In Psalms 51, David asked that his restored heart would lead him to teach others your ways. Forgiveness becoming testimony, restoration becoming influence. I bring that same desire before you. Let the mercy you give me overflow into the way I live, the way I speak, the way I treat others who struggle. Don't let my story end with personal forgiveness. Let it grow into compassion, wisdom, and humility, so that the grace that transformed me becomes visible, not through perfection, but through a life that reflects the patience, kindness, and restoring power of your mercy. Father, sometimes the hardest part of receiving mercy is believing that I can truly change. I accept forgiveness, yet quietly expect to fall into the same patterns again. I carry a subtle doubt about whether transformation is really possible. But when I think about Mary Magdalene, I see a life that proves mercy can remake a person. She moved from brokenness to devotion, from captivity to faithfulness, not by her own strength, but through the freedom you gave her. In Psalms 51, David prayed for a steadfast spirit, a heart that could remain aligned with you. That is what I long for now, not temporary relief, but lasting change. When old tendencies try to return, remind me that your mercy includes the power to reshape my desires. When discouragement whispers that I will never be different, anchor me in the truth that your grace transforms from the inside out. I place my weaknesses in your hands, trusting that the mercy that forgives me is the same mercy patiently forming a new heart within me. Lord, as I continue to reflect on your mercy, I realize that transformation often happens quietly, not through dramatic moments, but through steady devotion over time. The life of Mary Magdalene shows this clearly. She did not simply receive mercy once and disappear. She continued walking with you, listening, serving, staying close even during the darkest moments. That is the kind of change I long for, not temporary enthusiasm, but faithful closeness. In Psalms 51, David asked for a willing spirit, a heart ready to remain near you. I ask for that same posture. Help me stay near you daily, not only when I need forgiveness, but when I need guidance, strength, and renewal. Let transformation grow through relationship, through small acts of obedience, through the quiet habit of returning to you again and again. Shape my life through consistent grace, so that over time, The person I become reflects the mercy that first met me and continues forming me each day. God, I'm beginning to see that mercy reshapes not only my heart, but also the way I see other people. When I truly remember the grace I received, it becomes harder to judge, harder to condemn, easier to respond with patience. The story of Mary Magdalene reminds me that many lives carry hidden battles, histories others don't understand. Yet your mercy meets people exactly where they are. In Psalms 51, David spoke about teaching others your ways after experiencing forgiveness, mercy becoming a witness, restoration becoming compassion. I ask you to shape that same spirit within me. Let the grace I've received soften my heart toward those who struggle. Remove pride, remove the temptation to compare my journey with others. Instead, let humility guide me so that I treat people with the same patience you show me. May the transformation happening inside me become visible through kindness, understanding, and a willingness to lift others, just as your mercy first lifted me. Lord, mercy is not something I want to experience only once. I want it to continue shaping my life, guiding the way I think, the way I speak, and the way I respond to others. When I look at the life of Mary Magdalene, I see that your mercy did more than remove her past. It gave her a new purpose. She became someone who followed closely, who remained near the cross, and who was among the first to witness hope after the darkness. That kind of transformation is what I ask for. Not simply relief from guilt, but a heart that moves toward you daily. In Psalms 51, David longed for a steadfast spirit, a heart renewed from the inside. I ask you for that same renewal. Help me remain faithful even after forgiveness has come. Let gratitude guide my steps, so that my life reflects the mercy I have received. May the memory of your grace keep me close to you, steady, humble, and grateful, and so that every step forward becomes another quiet testimony of the power of your mercy. God, as I continue reflecting on mercy, I realize that transformation is not a single moment. It is a lifelong journey, a quiet work that continues day after day. In Psalms 51, David asked for a clean heart and a renewed spirit, not simply a forgiven past, but a changed future. That prayer still echoes today, and I bring that same desire before you now. When I think about Mary Magdalene, I see the beautiful result of mercy, a life once wounded becoming a life filled with devotion. She followed faithfully, remained present in moments of sorrow, and witnessed hope when others had lost it. Mercy turned her story into a testimony. Let that same transformation happen within me. Let your mercy continue reshaping my heart, removing what hardens it and strengthening what leads me closer to you. Teach me to live in gratitude for the grace I've received, to walk with humility, and to remain faithful even when the path is difficult. May my life, like hers, become a quiet reflection of your mercy, a story not defined by the past, but by the transformation your love makes possible. Amen.